This is Amaarae, and I'm going to pick up some visual elements in this shot to create a visual narrative to you. But for the uninitiated, this Amaarae is a US-based Ghanaian singer. She's known for her great music that she's produced. You can check her up if you want to know much about her. So first of all, let's look at the outfit, the costume, right? So the top part, you see that is a very stylistic and elegant top. That gives a visual idea that she's creative, she's elegant, she's open to style and fashion. Yeah, so these are things that could run up to talk about the upper body's side, and you see that it occupies most part of the shot. Okay, so her whole upper body, long sleeved top, and you see that the material is kind of soft. Okay, it's softer than the lower body material, the jeans. Okay, so that is it. And the softer aspect too also shows that regardless of the fact that that is what we see mostly, and that's what we pay attention to, her music, her style, her elegance, her fashion, her dynamism, and all that, that is the softer aspect, or that is the softer aspect of her whole traits, personality traits, right? So that is it. Now we go to the lower body part, which is the jeans that she's put on. So a little bit history to prove a point. Not going to bore you so much about the history, but there's a bit of history that could add to the visual narrative. So this jeans started when the Second World War began. So we realized that most of the men were into the war, and so because of that, there was shortage in labor. So the women have to compensate for that lost, right? And so they have to start putting on jeans. So that's how jeans started in that era. So along the line, 60s, 70s, and 80s, it improved, or it metamorphosed or changed into what we are seeing, or what we are seeing today. Yeah. So that is the background to the jeans, right? Now you realize that the jeans is thick and heavier than the upper part on. So very heavy and very thick and firm. Now it adds a bit of firmness, confidence, right? Firmness, confidence, and independence. So independent women and strong women, they put on jeans to show that they are resilient and they can challenge the status quo and the culture that be. So the top part talks about her elegance, her dynamism, and all that, her style in the music industry. But it is coupled with confidence, intuition, firmness, and strength that we usually don't pay attention to. So that is possibly the visual element and the visual narrative that it is creating in this shot. But finally, you would see that there's a chain, okay, and the inscription is heaven. So there's a balance between the top and the down. There's a balance between the style, the elegance, the dynamism, and the confidence, the firmness, and the strength, and it creates a heaven space for her. That is great. That is great. That's what I'm picking. So that's the first shot. Let's move on to the next shot. Now this shot is medium close-up shot, and there's a psychology behind all the shots. So I'm going to pay attention a bit to the psychology behind it. Now you realize that it has moved us from a social space to a more intimate space. So the medium close-up shot gives us a more intimate space with the character, right? So that is the first thing to pay attention to. Then you also see that we are getting closer to her and the background. Okay, the background is white. it's usually, the normal environment is not that. Okay, the normal environment, we see a lot of things, but they shifted our eyes from the normal environment to the white, the neutral color, to kind of point our focus to the subject, to Amaarae in this context, right? So that is one thing to pay attention to. And the background again also talks about purity and cleanliness. So usually white symbolize cleanliness and purity. So again, in visual grammar, the background is what is behind her. So she's not just confident and firm in her mind, or everything about what she does is pure and clean. That's a visual element we could be picking up from this shot. And it's very aesthetically pleasing when you understand the visual grammar and what it means in the shot. Yeah, so that is the second shot I'm picking up, and the meaning or possible meaning to it. It said that a visual has 1,000 words. Okay, so these are just a tip of the iceberg. Okay, so that's it. And then the final shot, which is the close-up shot. Now, the close-up shot gives us more emotions. It keeps us more into her space, or trying to get closer to her. And you see that her emotions doesn't waver because we are in her space. The same emotions that she's exhibiting is the same emotions that she's exhibiting. So which means that it talks about somebody who is fearless, who is going to be what she's going to be, regardless of whatever you're going to say. She doesn't seem to budge. Okay, yeah, so she's not going to succumb to pressure, and she's not going to do our bidding because we are in her space. What she is what she is. So that is what I'm picking up. So that is the close-up that we are seeing, okay, of our Amaarae. And you also see that there's kind of a circle around the eyes, kind of pointing our eyes to that side. Okay, so the whole center of interest is the face. Okay, and you see how unblemished the face is, no spot, no wrinkle. Yeah, to show us how clean and how flawless she is in her music industry and even in her personal life, right? But the focal point is her eyes. So the eyes also point us to her visual space, okay? So the eye is the gateway to the visual realm. So the visual realm is the scene and the creative aspect. So the scene realm and the unseen, which is in the creative or the imaginative space. Okay, so that is that. So these are a few things I pick up from these 3 shots. I know you may also pick up some few others which I may not pick up. You may share with me in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I am Kobiafo. Do well to stick and stay with me. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, share to others, and bye for now.